It's much the same way we get tons of questions about claims of prophecy. And while they are ridiculous to the point that it's not even worth going into now, if somebody makes a prediction and it comes true, I don't care what it is, calling a coin toss, that tells you nothing other than they made a claim and it came to pass. You don't know how they made that claim. Did they know that the coin was going to come up heads, tails, heads because they got lucky? Because aliens were communicating with them? Because some god told them? Because they were manipulating the coin with their mind? You have no way of knowing from the thing itself what the cause is. You have to actually demonstrate the causal chain, not assume it. And there may be a way. I can't think of any way right now that a mere experiment about something from nothing, even if it could happen, would give you any evidence that would confirm the idea of a creator-type being.
I think that I don't have that much to say about that. I mean, you kind of cornered it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I stomped all over it, but I was hoping that it would at least address, what you were thinking about, and if so, then I'm fine. That's fair. So.
Yeah, well, the thing that I sort of wanted to address was like, I was gonna sort of say that since the Big Bang theory, so something came from nothing, potentially
that's not what it says.
That's not the theory.
Oh, okay. I guess I need to look some more stuff up about that.
If you email the list, I'll send you some links.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth doing, and it's common misconception. This is, people, in much the same way that I probably just said 20 things wrong when talking about quantum mechanics, although I'd hope that somebody would have slapped me before I got to 20. It's an area that I don't know enough about. And by and large, most people don't have, and I'm included, I don't have any kind of great understanding about Big Bang cosmology or I'm not an astrophysicist or anything. But I have done, evidently, a little more studying than the average theist, the average creationist, I'll say, because they constantly come with the exact same claims that simply aren't true.
Right.
And they're easily resolved by going and picking up a few books, a few articles by real scientists. And some are better than others at explaining things in terms that any of us could grasp. So, and Tracy has links that would work good for that.
Well, actually, the main reason I was calling wasn't necessarily about the Big Bang or necessarily that there's a creator. I mostly just wanted to ask you guys, what your thoughts were on miracles, because I've heard about them and I've seen people. One of my friends who was atheist, he went to some church thing, and they were praying about this lady who was in a wheelchair, and apparently she'd been in a wheelchair for years and years and years, and they prayed for her, and she actually ended up standing up in the wheelchair and walking around for the first time in years, when they were in the church person.
I'll let Tracy address this, and I'm going to go ahead and clear the line because you've asked several questions. There's a bunch of people waiting. I'm going to let Tracy address this, but let me ask you one question. Do you think the story's true?
I don't think my friend would have any reason to lie about it.
That's not what I asked.
Okay. Yes, I do think that it happened.
Okay. You want to take this?
It's an anecdote. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a claim, and I don't know anything about the woman. I don't know anything about the situation. I don't know why she was in that wheelchair. I don't know how long after this healing ceremony she was able to walk around. I don't know if she was able to hobble, before. Being in a wheelchair doesn't mean you cannot walk. Some people in wheelchairs cannot walk. Some people in wheelchairs have difficulty walking. And I have yet to see any verified divine healing. I don't know what else to say to it.
Yeah, my big problem here is that, and this isn't, I'm not attacking you, Chris, I'm trying to explain this. Your first response when I asked you if you believed it was that your friend didn't have any reason to lie. Now, what that tells me is that the best reason you can think of for believing this is that it came from someone who doesn't have a reason to lie to you. That's not good enough. That's not remotely good enough. There are plenty of people who have no reason to lie, who relay stories that aren't true. That they may believe, or that they may be even doubtful of, but have heard second and third hands. And my response is, where is the scientific confirmation of these miracles? There isn't any.
Well, it's just like the question of, there's a lot of people that claim they've been abducted by aliens.
Right.
And they have no reason to lie. I mean, they're not like all getting rich or something. In fact, a lot of them are being ostracized as lunatics. And yet they're insisting they've been abducted and, probed by aliens. What is their motive?
If your primary criteria for believing something that you can't verify yourself is to determine whether or not the person who told you had a reason to lie, think about all the things that you would be forced to believe. Whatever religion you may happen to adhere to, wouldn't you also have to believe all of the other ones? Because there are sincere believers in every religion who have no reason to lie, who will tell you their miracle stories and their religious beliefs. Wouldn't you be forced by those criteria to accept all of them? And how could you possibly do that? You need better criteria in order to say that something is believable. And the more extraordinary the claim is, the better the evidence needs to be. We don't just say, well, I know it's an extraordinary claim and I really wish I had good evidence, but my mom told me and she wouldn't lie to me.
Or even I saw it myself.
Yeah. Plenty of times I've seen it myself.
We had the ghost story episode where we had somebody write in and say they'd seen a ghost.
Chris, I appreciate the call. We're running out of time. I got to get some other callers on there. You're welcome to call back. Next week I won't be here, but Russell will, and I'm sure he'd like to talk to you too if you get more questions or anything else. As a reminder, anybody who doesn't get through on the telephone today or doesn't want to can email tv@atheist-community.org. That goes to myself, the co-host, most of the people behind the scenes. And since I haven't mentioned it since we started the show, we're on the air for another 10 minutes, sorry. And after the show's over, we get together and go to dinner at Threadgill's at 301 West Riverside Drive. Any atheist or atheist-friendly person is welcome to come down and join us. You can meet the folks in the studio audience as well as the people responsible for the show.